Humans? It's your boy Keckster. I'm right here. We're gonna do a video about this cool 93 Corvette. Had it for 2 years off and on, but this time I wanted to do a film because the main reason for this build is to get this car into SEMA. Shout out to my boys at Airlift Performance and a few other guys at SEMA that we talked to. The goal for this video is to show you guys that we could be in a normal house garage, no lift, 9-to-5 job, and then actually have a cool, unique build. So right now, some of the secrets out of the bag about this, what we're doing here. We did, most of y'all remember me from the 93 SC400, the Lexus. It had that rare 88 body kit from Alex from Europe. It had the cool Infinity Works wheels that I did one-on-one with Tommy, and a few other things with the Lexus. Then I kind of crushed that, and then I went with the Corvette, sold the Corvette to my boy, Mr. John. He's a movie stunt guy and he collects cool cars, and then I bought it back from him because I missed the shit out of it, to be honest. So I have it now, and pretty much I did everything I could on the outside. You know, I had the Greenwood body kit, it had the rotor forms out of it, and I don't know, I was pretty much coming to a dead end. I want to do a motor swap. I have not done any motor swaps on any of my builds, mostly like exterior, interior work. I'm not putting all brown fur in this car, so don't worry about that, guys. But I am gonna do something so unique that we tried to find another build like it, but we couldn't. There's a video that some guy was putting Cummins diesel into the Corvette, but there's no physical video of it in running in the car. So we're gonna do a video on, it's not gonna be like a step-by-step, it's gonna be like a bunch of guys having fun, you know, in the car garage. I only could do this on the weekends. I travel for work, so I'm always in a different city or a different state every week. So I only could do this on the weekend. So we're gonna put a diesel motor in it. It'll be the first diesel in a Corvette that I know of. So if there's another one, sorry, you're not on YouTube or Instagram that I could find. There's only like 2 hashtags called Diesel Vet. A 93 C4 Greenwood is about to have a 1999 beautiful om606 diesel, true diesel now. Not an NA like some of your other YouTubers did on a Corvette. I actually did a real turbo motor, so no NAs here. So we're gonna do a 99 om606 true turbo motor, and just a basic manual pump, some small add-ons here and there to make it, I'm not trying to push too crazy horsepower, maybe 550, 600, and everybody's, oh my God, that's still a lot. For that motor, it's really not. Like, you could just put a few things on that 606 and push near that horsepower. So I'm not trying to go with horsepower, but I do want to roll coal through a Corvette. So it'll be the first Corvette rolling coal 2 inches off the ground. So it's gonna be fucking awesome. So stay tuned. So the Dixie Cup livery, which I'm not the first, and I'm not gonna say I'm like some genius making this, but I always love this, like the Dixie Cup thing, and the uniforms, like the retro Marlin uniforms and stuff. I just always love this color. In all my other cars, it's always like dark colors, like the Mercedes was dark red and black. The SC went through so many colors, like the dark matte red, the gold, the midnight gold, and in the last color I had that purple chameleon blue color with the matte silver on the bottom. So I wanted to do white with bright colors. So the cool thing is, what we're gonna do with the suspension is my boy Matt Mummet, he does a lot of cool wheel and powder coating for different parts, and he's a 3-piece guru. So shout him out if you're in Georgia, need some 3-piece wheels built or any powder coating, definitely hit him up. But we're gonna paint all this black, redo the bottom end. Everything's gonna be new. The brake lines, wiring, everything's gonna be ripped out. It's pretty much already ripped out besides some brake lines and some harnesses to the rear lights. But all that's gonna be redone. But all the upper arms, the sway bars, all that stuff, even the drive shaft, the axles, all that's going to be these two colors or white. So I'm going to do all custom colors with those two colors. It's going to be bright. It's going to grab some attention, especially when you lift up the front end. The hood goes all the way up, so it exposes all the suspension. And also, I kind of want to do that whole mirror underneath the car and kind of do like a small flex on undercarriage work. So that's going to be pretty cool to do. But I just always love that. So that's kind of explain my love for like the Miami Vice, because growing up in Miami, it had that vibe. I'm an 87 baby. So I grew up in the early 90s, just being at the beach all the time. So, and then the mini trucks, lowriders, you know, like all of my vehicles were bagged. Like I probably had 100 vehicles that were bagged, to be honest. We used to start building trucks and cars with airbagit.com. There was no website you could just build a kit or buy a kit and then everything comes together. Like you have to buy your bags and your lines and the fittings and everything separately. So that was a pretty cool experience back. Now you just hit up, you know, Airlift Performance and you just say, hey, this is the car I have, and they send you the whole kit. So always bagged everything. Lesson number one, all my years with airlift and all that stuff and airbags. Rule number one, everybody, please, if you got air, please drive it like you park it, okay? Like, drag that shit, just get as low as possible. If your wheels are too big, now that you gotta make your fenders bigger, okay? Something. But don't have a gap like this from the top of your tire and your wheel well. It's making us look bad, okay? The static guys are winning. It's kind of like iPhone and Andrew. You got airbags and coilovers, okay? Stop. Just stop, okay? We might have to teach these people and like, hey, listen, air it out, have a nice airlift, like ride height, and then make sure you got like maybe your tires are just enough to hit some bumps, but don't park it and a cat could fit up there. We don't want no dead kittens, okay? Cats get it up there. You can't see them. So if you air out and your shit's like this, and you drive like that, remember the kittens, okay? Don't kill kittens. So definitely always loved air rides, mini trucks. All my cars I built were on air. Even cars that are not supposed to be on air, like the C4, there's no kits for it. I went ahead and made my own bracket. So anyways, let's speed up today. Bought it back from my buddy John, and I want to do something just off the wall. So did a lot of homework with this diesel swap, and the first idea was keep it Chevy, you know, like the goal is gonna get a SEMA. So I really want to do a diesel Chevy. Of course, the 6.6 Duramax was going to be way too big and way too heavy. So I was looking at the Duramax, the mini Duramax, the 2.8. Very hard to find. They're very difficult motors, and I wanted something more horsepower, a little bit more bigger motor that could handle horsepower. And don't get me wrong, the way you could build the 2.8 Duramax is, yes, you could push big power, but you got to do a full build. The 606, I did a lot of homework on it, and there's a lot of good people on YouTube. It really teaches a lot of people how you could do a swap easily, either in a G-Wagon, they use them for Jeeps. I've seen a few like on a truck, like a C10. I've seen it in a 300ZX. So, but I have not seen it in a Corvette. So I'm very excited to do this swap. They make adapters for your transmission. They have adapters for everything that you could put it, and you can hit up UK Diesel. So Diesel Pump UK, man, you are a genius. Thank you for all your videos. Definitely taught me and my mechanic Taylor a lot of information, how we could do these swaps, how to build these rebuild these motors properly. And actually have a clean motor with the proper equipment. So shout out to UK Diesel Pump. Thank you for all your information. I hopefully you're excited for this swap as I am, since y'all don't have much C4 Corvettes. So that's gonna be pretty cool. So I will be sending you some parts to get rebuilt and stuff. So definitely want to give you a shout out, because this is like one episode, as many episodes coming until the end of October for SEMA. So I really want to do this video to show everybody that you could do a wild motor swap that no one's ever done. We don't need lifts. We don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't need a full mechanic shop worth of tools. You just got to have the right tools, the right people, the right minds, and the energy to do this swap. So I'm excited to do that. I'm thankful for my friends, especially Taylor, as my lead mechanic for Kustom By Keck. So definitely shout out to him. But other than that, the future of this build, I'm just gonna let y'all know. So shout out to Carlos with KR&C. He made me a custom two-piece saw blades, exactly like the faces. Not no wish.com looking face that doesn't look right. It's actually a fresh cut face into 19s. So there's no step lip. And yes, I could have got factory faces and did them, but I didn't want a step lip. I wanted a full 19-inch face with flat lips. So shout out to Carlos. Thank you for the wheels. I'm sure how beautiful they are in the video. We will give you some videos of that. But we're going to put that in there. So the theme is it's going to be the teal, the violet color with the white wheels. Everything's gonna be done like that. All the welding, metal work, all the exhaust work, and everything's gonna be from Bremo Welding. So shout out to Bremo Welding. Brian has been a great friend of mine for many years. He just got a shop in Gwinnett, so definitely look him up and get your work done. He does beautiful welding for exhaust, intakes, anything metal pretty much. He has a cutter. So we're gonna do the full firewall. It's gonna be nice and flush, all flat. I'm gonna do some cool artwork. And remember back in you're younger, some of you were born in the 90s and 80s, so y'all remember the magnet refrigerator letters. So on the firewall, I'm gonna have like different notes on the firewall with the magnet letters. So it's gonna be pretty cool to kind of fill in that whole gap, especially if the metal's white. It's gonna be just big. So we're gonna have some magnets and cool, kind of go with the theme with the car. But everything's gonna be factory. UK Pump pretty much has all the adapters. He has the adapter for my transmission. So everything from pretty much the block back is gonna be factory. I'm gonna reuse almost everything. Of course, I'm gonna get higher gears, rebuild the transmission, but everything bolts up. So I don't have to modify really anything. I might have to cut up a little bit on the top of the firewall, but that's it. You know, I don't have to put a certain Mercedes transmission or something. All the adapters and all the parts you need are just simply on the internet. And just do a little homework and research, and you will find everything. And not just my car. You could do this swap on a lot of cars, actually almost any cars. So just hit them up for the adapters and all the metal work and anything that you need for that motor. We're not, like I said before, we're not doing big power, but I'm not doing much of changes. Shout out to Retrovet. We're gonna have the Infinity taillights, like y'all said, saw in ASM Get Low in Atlanta and a few other shows like Gatlinburg. We had the Infinity taillights. So shout out to Retrovet. Definitely shout out to Battle Gang, my boy Eric. Definitely my brother Aaron also, and Brian. They're all my family members. We've been great friends for many years. They definitely shout me out by creating this cool retro design for my car. So they have all regular sizes, small, medium, large, and available on their website at battlegang.shop. So get your merch right now. But other than that, this is just an intro video. Hi there, here, pup. Oh, let me introduce y'all Gypsy. Oh, hey, lovely girlfriend. You got them Jaeger bombs. Yeah. Oh, look at that, everybody. Just want to introduce the lovely girlfriend, Lauren. Let's cheers to the first episode. Cheers, guys. Of course, most of y'all know of my Jaeger bombs. Every show, if you see me ask for a Jaeger shot, I got you. So cheers for the first episode. Woo! Thanks, baby.
You're welcome.
All right. So I guess Gypsy's going to hang out with us for a little bit. So she's a Corgi mix with Chihuahua. So she's just an awesome dog. Anyways, so like I said, main goal, SEMA. It's always been a dream. I'm sure it's a dream for a lot of people with custom builds and unique cars to be inside SEMA. So the SEMA is definitely the main goal. I'm not any rush at all with this. I only have 2 days a week to really work on this. Mostly one day. I have one day, I call up my boy Taylor, come on over. We have a few people over. We drink some drinks, you know, do a little thing, and then just have fun. We got the TV up there. We can watch some YouTube videos. I'm not no shame. I'm not a mechanic. I'll be honest. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a real mechanic. I know everything about cars. I really don't. I really don't. I'm a fiber optic engineer. I'm literally a nerd. I build network racks. I fuse and splice fiber. I do a lot of other things, but this is my hobby. So I'm not going to sit here. I'm a professional. I'm really not. I've been building cars since I was a kid. Does it make me a professional? I guess in some ways. We all have our own unique techniques of doing things like painting, plumbing, building houses, woodwork, RC cars. We all have our little hobbies. This is my hobby. It's my puzzle. You know, it's a man's puzzle. I like taking things apart and then putting it back together and making my own. I mean, I get sometimes where there's other kids or adults, whoever, that will buy a car and find something that's on Instagram and something they love and then copy it. It's just not who I am. And every time that somebody copies my look, I just completely change it because I don't want to pull up in a show and have somebody have my own wheels or the same paint or the same trunk setup. I want to go to a show knowing that my car, there's nothing exactly like it. Okay. So, originality. What happened? I feel like when Instagram came up, originality was gone. Like Nopi. You wanted the Nopi back in the day? You did not find, okay, most of the cars had the same body kits and stuff, but they all had this different wheels, different paint, different everything. Maybe the same stickers, but everything was different. The stereo was crazy. The fiberglass and the speakers here. We had TVs in our steering wheels, all right? We had Pimp My Ride. Shout out to West Coast Customs because you really started with me. It's your fault. It's all your fault. Shout out to West Coast Customs because you really started this dream of mine. So they were like, I mean, they had a TV show called Pimp My Ride where they put fish tanks and all different stuff in somebody's car, you know, like a pool table or a jacuzzi, whatever it was. If you liked it, we're going to put it in the car. The beginning of originality. So anyways, let me get back to where I was. I want to make this car as unique as possible. So that's why I want to do this video to show everybody with this motor swap. If you have a car and you want a diesel swap or an inline six or something cool, the om606 is definitely a good motor to start with, okay? It's cheap. You don't need an ECU. You can straight wire it. You could make your own diesel. All right, so anyways, let's get back in track. So the main goal, like I said, SEMA is the main show. Of course, still trying to do ASM Atlanta. So shout out to Chris with ASM Atlantic Street Movement. They do amazing shows in unique places like malls and airports and all that stuff, theme parks. So definitely check them out for car shows. We will have our Atlanta show probably around October. But the main focus about this episode is just introduction, you know, about the doggy, me, the car, girlfriend, technician, everybody, because this is going to be a very fun few months of building this. So stay tuned. I'm going to try my best to do a video every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, step by step. I will show you some videos and some pictures of what we started with, how we took the LT1 motor out, and all that, if you guys need it. Now, definitely comment below if you have any questions. I love answering questions. Hit me up on my Instagram, Kustom By Keck, or my underneath this video in comments. I would love to answer any questions you guys have on the next video or on my Instagram story. So definitely hit me up about that, and I'll definitely answer them because I'm learning as I go. I put a big TV right there so I can learn about this. I'm definitely not a German knowledge motor guy at all. Nothing. Chevy motors, cool. Japanese motors, cool. German, no, not at all, especially diesels. This is way over my head. So you guys will be learning as I learn. Literally, every video that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not going to be perfect, but I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm going to record those mistakes because you're going to make mistakes too. If you're on here wanting to do this, you're going to make the same mistakes. So I'm going to make sure that we're all on the same level when it comes to installing this 606. So we're going to do this first video is just introduction, the garage and everything like that, my sponsorships, who I want to shout out to, and all that. So I want to help everybody out on not a documentary. It's not going to be about me. It's going to be mostly making everybody comfortable to do something that's crazy. Don't get me wrong. I'm terrified looking at my car, seeing it literally in like just a body and frame. It's terrifying, scary. But I know at the end it's going to be worth it because I touched every bolt on this car and every inch of this car knowing that if something goes wrong, I know what's wrong with it. So it's a good step. Now there's a lot of guys that's probably like, oh, I got my garage, and they got the garage. Their dads are mechanics. They had shops where they have a lot of money. I'm not gonna call anybody out, but there's a lot of YouTubers that have a beautiful $1 million shop. They have all the tools and stuff and lifts, and they hire professional mechanics. I don't have that. I really don't. So sorry if you guys think this is going to be a cool, Richie, cool step-by-step video. It's literally going to be a guy in a garage with his homies doing a build. Literally. There's going to be a lot of drinking. There's going to be a lot of music, a lot of fun, probably some beer pong, a little partying. But this is supposed to be fun. There's no stress here. I'm not trying to compete to anything. I'm not trying to win a trophy. This is for me. Your build should be for you. You shouldn't be worrying about Instagram likes and then making reels all the time and all this stuff. Just enjoy. We're lucky to be in this country. We're lucky to have freedom to actually have cars and build the way we want them to build. You know, maybe some of y'all have restrictions. If you're trying to build a car that's younger than 25 years old, you might have emissions and stuff, but it takes a lot of time with these older cars. A lot of people don't like the 80s and 90s because they didn't have the best technology and stuff. But man, something about the early 80s, like digital dash and then the flip up headlights, the old school body kit and stuff like that. I just love it. So definitely, if you have something like this, follow along. The moment y'all been waiting for. I've been keeping y'all a secret about the motor type. Put in hashtags, y'all still can't get it. But this episode, you're gonna know what it is. So let's see what Taylor's got building up with the motor and see what's going on. And he was gonna tell you a little bit about the motor than I can. So let's see what he got going on. All right, let's go.
What's up, guys? This is Taylor. Kind of lead tech on this project. No professional by any means, but we're gonna get this thing done. So we took the old LT1 out of here, and now we got a new project going on. Let me show you what you guys got going on. Some of you guys might recognize this. Mercedes inline six, turbo diesel. We're gonna take this thing, we're gonna make it mechanical. Take this injection pump off here, have it sent off. We're gonna have a mechanical put in here, have a new intake put on. Few more goodies. We're gonna leave that for some other videos. Other than that, these things straight out of the box, they're nothing to write home about. But once you put a better intake, a better P pump, and a big turbo on these things, you're making 400 out of the box without even going inside. So once we get higher valve springs and a few other goodies, this thing's gonna be a high revving turbo black monster, okay? So most people are probably wondering, why diesel? Well, why not? Get better gas mileage, you're faster, and it just looks cooler, okay? This thing's gonna look awesome in there. So stay along. We got a little bit here to go. We got a lot of things to do. We got everything here on the back taken apart. We got new bushings going in, new tie rods, new ball joints, new U-joints, pretty much everything that you could think of. We're putting all new everything under here. A little bit about this motor. They were only made here in the States, came to the States for 2 years, 98 and 99. The really low numbers, extremely hard to find. It was a really hard find to get this guy, and we had to drive a really long way to get it. It's still a low mileage, but even with that, we're still gonna refresh this thing, put some new things on it. And you guys are gonna learn a lot about this motor along the way that we are, because we were only not even a year old before we figured out about this thing. So guys, stay tuned and see what we got going on.
What's up, humans? So pretty much we went through the introduction video about myself, the car, and this awesome diesel motor. It's the om606. It's a 99. So we got that introduction of the casa, you know, and the workspace that you guys are going to be following me about this build. So pretty much that's it. No installs today. Do a little wash, a little sexy slow motion wash videos in the motor. But other than that, the next video is gonna be about the suspension and the powder coating, all the parts that we're gonna be doing, the brake lines, the rear end, all the undercarriage good stuff. So we can start putting the wheels on and kind of getting this motion. And then a few episodes after that, we'll be dressing this motor pretty well. And then again, in the transmission, which is the factory transmission with the adapter, But of course, we're gonna rebuild it to handle the torque that this motor's pushing. So no motor stuff until a few more weeks. Maybe episode 3 or 4, we're gonna start putting the motor in. But first, we're gonna get the suspension going, gas tank, all of that undercarriage stuff, wiring, air suspension. Shout out to Techniques, TA Techniques for the air suspension. So we're gonna be showing you guys all that, especially if you got a Corvette and this year model is yours and don't really have a kit. We'll show you a step-by-step on how you get the suspension parts all together on these cars. So, but like I said, we'll be dressing up the motor. So around episode 3 or 4, we'll be putting it in. So stay tuned. Peace.